Okay, welcome back to the last part of Feeding Performance, part 3. We're just going to have a wee look at dental health and a wee bit of a summary of the sessions. Dental health, beware of the need to curb your teeth. Many of the foods and drinks that provide athletes with suitable amounts of carbohydrates are high in refined sugars, which will cause dental decay. When you start to tell somebody that they're needing to eat, up to 6,000 calories a day, then unfortunately some of those calories are going to end up being taken through simple sugars. Particularly if we want them to eat 60% plus of their diet as carbohydrates, then you're going to find they're drinking lots of sports drinks and stuff, which can then be detrimental to dental health. So some tips for looking after your teeth. Brush and floss your teeth obviously regularly. So as any dentist will tell you, brush your teeth, floss your teeth, make sure you keep your teeth as well as you can in terms of cleaning them. Chew sugar-free gum, especially after eating food or after drinking sports drinks. It helps increase saliva in the mouth, which decreases acidity. So try and maybe chew some sugar-free gum. That chewing motion helps release saliva. Use a squeezy bottle or drink from a straw, okay, rather than just drinking out of a cup. If you can squeezy bottle straight into the back of the mouth or drink from a straw, can help actually prevent it. And obviously never swish something like a sports drink around your teeth, because you're covering the teeth in that sugary drink. Drink should be slightly chilled if possible. If nothing else, that actually helps with absorption of the fluid. Rinse your mouth out with water after eating and drinking. So it's maybe not a bad idea that after you've had a bit of a sports drink, then a bit of water and rinse your mouth out as well as you can with that water. Okay, then quick summary of today's stuff. So take home message for those that are going home, for those that are at home, your sit at home message. Individual plans are necessary for all athletes. So if possible, get yourself a dietitian, get yourself somebody you can work with and come up with an individual plan as a diet as a whole, but then also for your strategy in terms of post, during, after exercise and competition. Make sure you try everything out in training before you ever try anything in competition. Individual athletes often find it easier to achieve better carbohydrate intakes than athletes playing with a team, so beware of this. Especially something like during a match, it's much easier for an athlete to be able to carry a bottle or some sort of carbohydrate gels or whatever with them during an event like a marathon. It's much harder to do for a football or a rugby player, whatever it may be, a hockey player, to be able to do that going on the pitch. You will have a different requirement on different days. So on a day where you're doing a lot of aerobic training, the key foods are carbohydrates. Whereas on a day where maybe you're doing lots of strength training, then you have to start thinking about protein foods as well. But most foods will have a bit of both in them. And make sure obviously different requirements for different days includes the amount of calories that you're actually taking. So overall calorie intake is important, especially for athletes training more than once a day or on consecutive days. We've seen the graph earlier of decreasing carbohydrates, muscle glycogen levels, carbohydrate levels over 3 24-hour or 2-hour bouts, 24 hours apart over 3 days. And we've seen carbohydrate levels dropping. So make sure that if you're going to train in multiple days, or even worse, if you're going to train more than once in a day, that you recover between those sessions. And to recover, you need to make sure that you're getting carbohydrates on board, and you need to make sure you're getting a bit of protein on board to help regenerate that muscle. On days that you're not training, make sure that you adapt your diet for that. You shouldn't be eating as much on those non-training days as you are on the training days. Practice your plans in training. As I've said before, never do anything new on a competition day. Timing of food and fluid after training is essential. You've got that window of opportunity where all that enzyme activity is happening in the muscle, and the muscle's permeable to get the glucose into it, so make sure you use that and you get the carbohydrate on board as quickly as possible. For athletes who cannot eat before training or competition, then liquids, milkshakes, smoothies, gels, things like that, sports drinks, offer an easy way to meet your needs. but again, practice them. Some drinks, especially things like smoothies, will have fructose in them. Fructose has been seen to cause more gastrointestinal distress than things like glucose. So make sure you practice those things, make sure you try them out in competition. Some people say you can train your gut. So try them out in competition in training in small amounts. Next time try a wee bit more, and try and actually get your gut used to dealing with exercising with something in it, with fructose in it or some solid food or whatever in it. Particularly for ultra endurance type people who actually need to eat on the bike, on the run, whatever it may be, they can get themselves sort of used to eating that type of foods, more solid foods during their training, and then carry that across into competition. Sports nutritionist. For further information on sports nutrition, contact an accredited sports nutritionist or dietitian. So that can be contacted through things like Coaching Ireland or INDI, or through Sports Academy. They give practical individual sports dietary advice and strategies. Okay, sports science type people are quite often good for giving general advice and maybe giving you advice on strategies pre, post, during exercise. But for specific dietary analysis, dietary advice, then you really should be going to a qualified nutritionist or dietitian. They'll be able to look at the balance of your diet, and they'll be able to look in case there's anything that's inadequate in your diet in terms of health and stuff as well. They give you practical guidelines on food, fluid and supplements for training, competition and travel tailored to your sport or your circumstances. And particularly in the terms maybe of making sure that you've got good health as well as just the sports end of it. For more information then, say accredited sports nutritionist, Coaching Ireland website, Irish Nutrition Dietetics Institute. You've also got things like British Nutritional Foundation can give some, find some advice on that. Lucas Aid Sports website, you've got other drinks company websites like Gatorade, Sports Science Institute. There's a whole raft of stuff out there now available for you to use and to look at. Thanks very much for listening to these series of videos. I hope you found them informative. I hope you find other stuff on the website at the minute informative as well. Thanks very much.